Hello and welcome to another episode of Hardcore Minecraft. My name is Gronzu. Today be going through day 500 to 572. In this episode, I complete the outer boundary for the ocean monument, finish draining that, and get everything ready to go for a massive ocean monument build. The two major things I had left to do were complete this outer boundary with the glass linking up all the way around and then draining this section. It took absolutely forever, but it was so worth it. I needed blue dye for the stairs, so I had to go around flying around the oceans, finding ravines and getting lapis. I do not know of a quicker way to get blue dye, but maybe I'm just an idiot and this is an incredible waste of lapis. Periodically I found some diamonds and stuff like these underwater ruins, some extra cool stuff, but none of it was really that great of loot, so just was really focusing on getting lapis so I could finish up this project. Spending, only a day or two at a time, I got a ton of lapis. Right here was about 6 stacks, and that was nearly enough to finish. In order to drain all of this, I did have to go back and get some more sand. Going to this beach wasn't a great idea. Kind of let it get away from me, and my shulker boxes ended up trapped behind a ton of mobs. Took me pretty much an entire night to deal with all this nonsense. Once I finally dealt with all those mobs and got my shulker boxes back, I made a ton more glass and got back to work. If you're gonna drain stuff, I recommend you just break your sponges as you're going along. Doing it this way sucks, and I had my depth strider boots on, so almost popped another totem jumping down to this one. Just not the way to do it. this point, I'm sick of the draining, I'm sick of the sand, you're sick of the sand. This is like 3 episodes now of mine, but this process just takes so incredibly long, and I wanted to document as much of it as I could. I had some trouble doing the corners on this thing. I tried to level it off to get it even, but I still found a way to mess this up. I was really hoping to not have to mine out a section just to get this corner right, and seeing as I didn't even get it right, this was just a waste of time, but it was the only way that I could get this thing to go around properly, and it took way too long. I am the king of wasting time and not being productive. I was constantly having to go back and heal my tools when I have plenty of resources to just make a whole mess of shovels and such. Not too much change day to day. I was really trying to just get the last little bit as I was finishing these sections and showing how the progress came along, but to be honest, it doesn't ever feel like you're making progress with these. On day 516, I had finally had enough with how long this was taking. I went out looking for new ocean monuments to get more sponges because draining these sections was taking way too long still. So my goal is to go out and just get a few stacks of sponges. I also found one of these underwater ruins that spawned on land. That's very unlikely to happen. It did have a treasure map, but I was pretty focused on the monuments right now. And of course I always forget milk, so I had to make a stop, see Mr. Cow real quick. I had already been to this monument and thought that I had got the sponges from it, so I did go back to get that treasure map and find that, but it was just garbage when I got there. I ended up finding like 4 or 5 ocean monuments within about 1,500 block radius, which was pretty awesome. I went through each one, cleared them out, and got all the sponges I could. And then while leaving this one, I almost died putting my elytra on. I was getting targeted by like 10 of these things, and this was almost another totem popped.
It's looking spicy.
Oh shit, not good.
Had another close call here, and in all honesty, the only reason I didn't die is because of luck. They easily could have got me there. While looking for monuments, if I saw a good ravine, I would go down in there. Got a few diamonds here and there. It's pretty nice. This back portion, this bigger room, is where it gets the most intense. This section, I nearly died in several of these ocean monuments, and when it was all said and done, I think I had been to 6, 5 of them being brand new ones I'd never been to before. I hadn't got depth strider on my netherite boots yet, so I was using a pair of diamond ones, and they were getting beat up something first, so I had to stop and repair them for fear of them breaking. Now, I had spent almost 4 full days doing this, and I was coming home with several stacks of sponges, and that took forever to do in the nether, so I knew it would be furnaces from here on out. Knowing I was going to be using furnaces for drying the sponges, I went to the wither skeleton farm to get a bunch more coal, and I stayed here until I had 2 full stacks of blocks and 36 wither skulls. It was very productive. For this and the gold farm, I started turning the render distance down, and it seemed to really help. I keep it at 5 chunks. I'm not an expert. I don't know what the most efficient way to do that is, but to me it seems like at least you want a few chunks to be loaded. Now that I had all the sponges I could ever want, draining these sections was going a lot faster, and having them drying out in the furnace meant I didn't have to keep going back to the nether, saving my hoe as well. So this process I wish I would have done a long time ago, going to get all these sponges. While placing sand for one of the sections, I wasn't paying attention, and a creeper got me down to half a heart. I started getting quite a few mobs, but I was tearing down these sections so fast I didn't want to waste time putting torches up. But another creeper got me, and this time it was even worse.
It's looking spicy.
So I hadn't used a totem through 468 days, and here we are, not even 50 days later, and I've popped another. I was getting careless, honestly. This process was slowly killing me. I was so bored, so spent, and just so sick of doing all of this. So much so that my carelessness was getting out of hand.
Wow, dude.
So, yeah, just wasting totems right there. Being real smart, real careful. This healing tools business was also wasting a ton of time, so eventually I finally made some new shovels. By day 538, I had nearly finished the second full side, and it was starting to look really awesome, but I had so much longer to go. Going back to the base to get glass was taking too long, so built another auto smelter here, which is something I should have done a long time ago. I got that process going, and once I had some more glass, I pushed super hard to at least finish this outer boundary. So I finally wrapped everything all the way around, and it did not line up. I was one block off. I have no idea how it happened, but at this point it was much too much work to try and fix it. I'd have to essentially either wrap it all the way around again with twice as much glass, or go back and tear everything down and fix it. To be honest, I don't know if I'll ever finish it. I'd like to fix it, but I don't know if I will. The mobs were starting to pile up because of how much area they had to spawn, and outside of some close calls with them, I was just going to keep grinding. I had finally connected the entire glass boundary, and now it was finally the home stretch. All I had to do was drain and get this sand out of the way, and I was finally done. And on top of all that, I had just about a quarter left to do. It was so close, finally. By day 566, I had completed nearly all of it. I just had to place some more sand on the very last section, and I would finally be done. Finally. I did have to go back to the main base to get some mending books for my shovels because I just wanted to be done so badly, and I knew when I had that last little bit of sand, I didn't want anything to stop me from that point on. On day 569, nice, I actually finished placing all the sand. I was done. This was it. It was finally over. All of the heartache and torment was finally coming to an end. And this day just kept getting better. It was a slime chunk inside of this thing, which I had not taken the time to look for yet, so that was great. And here it was, the last bit. It's finally over. I honestly shed a single solitary tear of relief because I don't ever want to do this again, even though I know I'm going to in 1.18. On day 572, I finally completed the Ocean Monument project. This project was an insane amount of work. Just draining it to this point was almost 45 hours, so not exactly an easy thing to do. Thank you to anybody who watched and made it to this point. Please consider liking and subscribing. Some of these projects I do are just crazy from an editing and a recording standpoint. They take so long. I want to thank Flash Mountain Flood for providing music as always. My name is Grand Zoo. I will see you in the next episode where I terraform this thing and it starts to get really cool, as well as build a guardian farm. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.